You know, when we think of superheroes, we usually think of comic books, right? But what if I told you the original superheroes were actually found in ancient texts? Today, we're diving into the incredible reality-bending powers of the ancient sages, also known as rishis.
Go ahead, picture it. A wise, bearded figure, sitting peacefully under a tree, just radiating tranquility. It's the classic image, isn't it? Well, according to our source material, that's not even half the story. Not by a long shot.
Because the tales of these rishis, they're not just about quiet wisdom. They're epics of unbelievable power, stories of individuals who could command the universe in ways that would make our modern superheroes look like amateurs. Let's just start with the world itself.
All right, first up, let's talk about their mastery over the physical world. And I don't mean just, making a gentle breeze or a bit of rain. We're talking about fundamental control over the actual building blocks of nature.
I mean, wielding storms, literally reshaping the land, even messing with the sun and the moon. And here's the kicker. For the most powerful rishis, this kind of stuff, this was just the warm-up.
So check this out. Take the story of Rishi Agastya. He needed to expose some enemies hiding at the bottom of the sea. So what did he do? He didn't just part the waters, he drank the entire ocean. Just try to wrap your head around the sheer scale of that power.
And this power? Oh, it could be absolutely devastating. There was Rishi Javalamukha. His name literally means volcano mouth. How cool is that? He didn't just throw fireballs. Our sources say he commanded the Earth's molten core to erupt, creating volcanoes on demand to just wipe out his enemies. I mean, their command over the Earth itself was just total. Rishi Bush Kalin, when he was faced with an opposing army, he didn't even bother to fight them. Nope, he just opened a giant chasm in the ground and commanded to swallow the entire army whole. These weren't just sages, they were walking forces of nature. But, okay, controlling inanimate stuff like rocks and water, that was just one piece of the puzzle. Their influence went way beyond that, extending to the entire living world, and even into realms you can't see. Their dominion was absolute. We're talking plants, animals, and even spirits from other dimensions. They didn't just commune with nature, they were its commanders-in-chief. Seriously, just imagine an entire forest just waking up, with its trees turning into a marching army. That was the power of Rishi Vrikshadeva. At his command, a peaceful wood could become a terrifying military force in a blink of an eye. And it wasn't just plants. Rishi Sarparaja, whose name literally means serpent king, could command hordes of snakes, directing them with deadly precision to strike and poison his foes. It's a horrifyingly effective way to use the animal kingdom.
And here's where it gets really weird. Their power crossed right into the supernatural. A rishi like Bhuttasanga didn't need a physical army. Why would he? He could just summon legions of ghosts and spirits from another plane and unleash a terrifying psychological attack that could break an enemy's will without a single punch being thrown.
And now we get to the main event, the absolute pinnacle of their abilities. This goes way beyond controlling elements or living things. This is about wielding cosmic power, about creating, destroying, and fundamentally changing the very fabric of reality itself. And the sheer scope of this cosmic power is just breathtaking. You have this incredible duality. On one hand, you've got Rishi Vishwamitra, who could literally create an entirely new heaven for a person he thought deserved it. And then on the other hand, you have Rishi Kapil, who could annihilate 60,000 men, turning them to ash with a single angry look. Ultimate creation and total destruction, both born from pure willpower. But this immense power wasn't just for personal gain. It was also for the ultimate sacrifice. There's this story about a time when the gods themselves were defeated and totally powerless. And it was a rishi, Dadichi, who provided the solution. He willingly gave his life, knowing that his own bones, which were hardened by his spiritual energy, could be forged into the Vajra, the one weapon that could save everyone. This might just be the most astounding example of their power. Rishi Markandeya's will to live was so absolute that when Yama, the actual god of death, came to claim him, the Rishi just kicked him away and refused to go. He literally just defied death itself. So, okay, we've seen these incredible, world-shattering powers. But that brings us to the most important question, right? Where did it all come from? What was the source of these unbelievable abilities?
And remember, we're not talking about just a few isolated legends here. The source material lists over 100 different sages with these kinds of powers. This wasn't the exception in these stories. This was a fundamental rule of their universe.
The answer really comes down to this one word, tapasya. This is the core concept. It's an intense spiritual discipline that involves deep meditation, self-control, and austerity. Through tapasya, a rishi could build up so much spiritual energy that their thoughts and their will could directly influence reality.
And this right here is the most important takeaway. In this worldview, superpowers aren't granted by a radioactive spider or because you're from a distant sun. They are earned. They are the natural result of achieving perfect self-mastery and a will so focused it can bend reality. True power wasn't a gift, it was an internal achievement.
And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought. These stories, whether you look at them as myth or as metaphor, all point to this one powerful idea, that the potential of the human mind is effectively limitless. So if thought, focus, and knowledge can shape reality, what are the true limits of our own minds?